luxury cars, influencers, and a billion-dollar crypto lie. This isn't the plot of a Hollywood blockbuster. It's the real-life story of a financial empire built on digital dreams and brought down by the very technology it exploited. This is the story of V Global, the Thai crypto sensation that promised a new era of wealth but delivered only a devastating trail of deceit and the investigators who followed the money through the digital labyrinth of the blockchain. Our story begins in Thailand, a nation buzzing with the promise of cryptocurrency. Amidst this digital gold rush, a new platform emerged, shining brighter than all the rest, V Global. It wasn't just another investment opportunity, it was a lifestyle brand. The face of this brand was a cohort of young, charismatic entrepreneurs, often seen alongside famous models and social media influencers. They didn't just sell an investment, they sold an aspirational dream. Their social media feeds were a curated gallery of impossible luxury, fleets of supercars, private jets bound for exotic locales, and lavish parties that blurred the line between business and fantasy. They spoke of a revolutionary AI-powered trading bot, a secret algorithm that could navigate the volatile crypto markets with unerring precision, promising investors guaranteed returns of up to 15% per month. To a public eager to escape the uncertainties of the traditional economy, V Global looked like a golden ticket. The pitch was deceptively simple. Investors would deposit their money primarily in the form of the stablecoin USDT into the V Global platform. The company's supposedly infallible AI would then trade these funds on their behalf, generating massive profits. To amplify their reach, V Global employed a classic multi-level marketing structure. Existing investors were incentivized to recruit new members, earning commissions for every person they brought into the fold. This created a viral loop of recruitment, as friends convinced friends and families invested together, chasing the promise of effortless wealth. The company's masterminds hosted extravagant seminars in five-star hotels, where they would dazzle potential clients with slick presentations, celebrity endorsements, and testimonials from early success stories. They painted a picture of a future where financial freedom was just a click away, future powered by V Global. For a time, the illusion held. Early investors received what appeared to be consistent payouts, reinforcing the belief that the system worked. The hype snowballed and money poured in from all corners of the country, totaling an estimated $1 billion. The young founders became icons, the crypto kings and queens of Thailand, living proof that their system was the key to unlocking unimaginable fortune. But behind the velvet ropes and champagne towers, a different story was unfolding. As the number of investors swelled into the tens of thousands, the promised payouts began to slow, then sputter, and finally stop altogether. The once responsive customer service lines went silent. Panic began to ripple through the network of investors. Life savings, retirement funds, and borrowed money had vanished into the digital ether. The dream had become a nightmare. As thousands of victims filed reports with law enforcement, the scale of the fraud became terrifyingly clear. Thailand's Department of Special Investigation, or DSI, was tasked with unraveling one of the largest financial crimes in the nation's history. They weren't just looking for a few rogue scammers. They were hunting the architects of a billion-dollar lie. The investigators' first challenge was to pierce the corporate veil. V Global was a ghost, sophisticated digital facade with no physical headquarters and a deliberately convoluted ownership structure designed to obscure the true beneficiaries. The masterminds had insulated themselves behind layers of shell companies and nominees. But they had made one critical mistake. Their entire operation was built on the blockchain. While cryptocurrencies offer a degree of anonymity, every transaction is permanently recorded on a public ledger. For the DSI's cybercrime unit, this ledger was the crime scene. Their mission was to follow the money, one transaction at a time. The investigation began with the thousands of USDT deposit addresses provided to the victims. Working with blockchain intelligence firms, forensic analysts started to map the flow of funds. It was like untangling a digital Gordian knot. The scammers had used a technique called peeled chaining, where large sums were siphoned off from primary wallets and then split into ever smaller amounts, sent through a dizzying series of intermediate wallets to obfuscate their origin. They also utilized mixers or tumblers, services designed to break the on-chain link between a sender and a receiver, by pooling funds from multiple users and redistributing them. It was a deliberate, sophisticated effort to launder the stolen money and erase their tracks. But the DSI team was relentless. They were not just looking at individual transactions, they were analyzing patterns, linking wallets that moved in concert, and identifying clusters of activity that pointed back to a central command. Slowly, a picture began to emerge. The investigators noticed that a significant portion of the siphoned funds was being consolidated into a handful of large wallets held on major international exchanges, primarily Binance and Wobi. This was the breakthrough they needed, while the wallets themselves were pseudonymous. Opening an account on these regulated exchanges requires a Know Your Customer kick process, linking the digital address to a real-world identity, a name, a passport, a photograph. The DSI, armed with court orders and international law enforcement cooperation agreements, formally requested the KYC information associated with these destination wallets. The exchanges complied. The digital ghosts were about to get names and faces. The data revealed the identities of the core group of young entrepreneurs and their inner circle. The same individuals who had flaunted their wealth on Instagram were now identified as the controllers of the very wallets that had received hundreds of millions of dollars in stolen investor funds. Just as the net was tightening, the suspects vanished. Tip-offs from within their network, or perhaps just the instincts of seasoned criminals, told them the game was up. Using their vast resources, the key figures fled Thailand, becoming international fugitives. The investigation turned into a global manhunt. Interpol red notices were issued, flagging them as wanted criminals across 195 member countries. Intelligence reports suggested the primary suspects had escaped overland into neighboring Cambodia, a country known for its complex and often opaque legal landscape. From there, their trail scattered. One of the key ringleaders, a man who had styled himself as the visionary CEO of V Global, was tracked to Dubai, a global hub for the ultra-wealthy and a city that offered a luxurious hideout. The chase was on, a high-stakes game of cat and mouse played out across continents, with digital forensics and international diplomacy as the primary weapons. While some of the lower-level conspirators were apprehended in Thailand, the masterminds remained at large, living off the fortunes they had stolen. The V Global saga stands as a stark monument to the dark side of the digital age. It was a crime born of social media hype and executed on the blockchain, a perfect storm of modern deception. The promises were of a decentralized, democratized future. But the reality was an age-old pyramid scheme dressed in the language of Web3, the luxury cars, the designer clothes. The influencer party set was all a meticulously crafted illusion. Stage set paid for with the life savings of thousands of ordinary people. The empire of the Thai crypto princess and her cohorts seemed untouchable, a fortress built in the ethereal world of digital currency. But in the end, that fortress collapsed when the blockchain, the immutable ledger they had used to commit their crime, became the very tool that told the truth, revealing a lavish life built on a foundation of stolen USDT wallets.